This is the Daily Reports with Casper the Vile Muse. I read the articles that you scroll past the headlines of, so you don't have to. These videos contain information you would not normally see, or that you just don't pay too much attention to. I go a little bit more into detail so you don't have to, or you can actually go and do the research on yourself. These are also articles that nobody's speaking about, and I feel people should know. All articles used will be linked in the description. The Florida Department of Health released another statement about the brain-eating amoeba. It came from Hillsbury County, which is in Tampa, and advises to avoid putting tap water in the nasal area, as well as avoid swimming in warm, fresh water. President D.T. niece, Mary, is the next person in line to release a book in the next series of the tell-all of the president. His niece goes on to state things in the book such as he paid one of his friends to take his SAT so he could get into college. He grew up bending the rules to promote himself. She also goes on to talk about how President DT's father was a functioning sociopath, a high-functioning sociopath, and his mother was emotionally absent. Jacksonville Mayor Lenny states that he did not test positive for CV19, but him and his family are going into self-quarantine because he was exposed to somebody who had tested positive for CV19. South Dakota Mayor accompanied President DT on his Air Force jet after the Mount Rushmore fireworks session. And it's funny because South Dakota Mayor Kirsty had had very close contact with Trump Jr., his son, girlfriend. Brazil's President Bolsonaro tested positive for CV19. This comes amid him refusing to take lockdowns, which he states now may have hurt his economy. He's taken 4 different tests, and on his 4th one it tested positive. for symptoms that he referred to as flu-like, that said that would cause him no harm. Atlanta's mayor, Keisha Bottoms, stated that her husband since Thursday has been sleeping and experiencing what she referred to as seasonal allergies. She decided her and her family should get another test just to be sure based off of those assumptions, and she herself has tested positive for CV19. Or could this be her way to planning an escape for a lot of things that she's kind of messed up in her city? Such as there's an active shooter on a Marine Corps base located in Palm Springs, California. This happened at the Marine Corps Air Ground Combat Center at 29 Palms. The incident resulted in the suspect sustaining self-inflicted gun wounds. Reports yet show if the suspect is alive or in critical condition. Eric Joyce, who is a ex-Labor MP and a former Army officer, after admitting he has possession of an indecent movie of a child. He was told he will be serving jail time for this. On the device on which he had contained this movie on, the movie depicted multiple children in this film, as well as the youngest believed to range all the way down to 12 months old. This monster, Mr. Joyce, has been granted bail and ordered to sign a sex offender registry. He's due back in court August 7th. Fox News feels very apologetic for potentially facing some backlash, or might not face some backlash, but they felt they should do the right thing and show the full picture in which Mr. Jeffrey and Miss Maxwell was taken. Fox probably showed the actual picture so he wouldn't complain and have the spotlight being taken from him. So they showed the full image, which shows Mr. President T on the left, Evika on the middle, Jeffrey in the middle next to Evika, and then Miss Maxwell all the way to the right. It's unsaid if there will be filed charges against Mr. President DT for his potential role he played in this. If anything, he's guilty definitely of even being there, seeing as they were best friends. Congress received formal notification nearly a month after President DT said he was withdrawing. The White House said this decision would take effect July 6th, 2021. Oddly enough, it's starting to go viral. Pictures are circulating about bats in the Philippines. They're human-sized bats, roughly getting up to about 5 feet and 6 inches, and weighing roughly about 2.5 to 3 pounds. These human-sized bats are called the golden crown fox bat. The FDA adds 5 more hazardous hand sanitizers containing methanol, which can cause irritation when applied to skin or ingested. This makes 9 total. I feel I have to say this as a warning. Don't drink hand sanitizer and don't drink cleaning products or bleach. It will not protect you against CV19. I don't care how much President DT condones it or doesn't condone it. It's just pure common sense and stupidity, and people should know better. "239 scientists from 32 countries, backgrounds containing virology, aerosol physics, flow dynamics, exposure and epidemiologists, engineering and building engineering, as well as medicine, are speaking about a new study and supporting a new study that actually shows an infected person's dorfilets actually reach up to 10 meters, and it actually settles about 1.5 meters on the floor. And with precise calculations, it's proven that infected air quality can actually range 1 to 2 meters within a social distancing distance, which in basic terms, 1 to 2 meters into a person's social distance bubble runs them the chance of being infected by the CV19.
Well, on Jacksonville's west side, if you've traveled eastbound on Interstate 10, you might have seen this billboard. The sign reads, "Is your faith in God hidden behind a face mask? No God, no fear."
The sign is between Cassett and McDuff Avenues. News4Jax reporter Zach Lajway spoke with the person behind the message to get to the bottom of what it means.
High above I-10, a note on a billboard. Messages come in all shapes and sizes. Some are statements, some are questions, some hit you head on. The post was written and paid for, not by a church or a faith-based organization, but by an ordained minister in Jacksonville.
Is your faith in God hid behind a face mask? No God, K-N-O-W, or no N-O, fear.
Connie McCall.
As I was watching, the churches closed down along with everything else in society because of the coronavirus. And indeed, as a registered nurse, apart from being a Christian, we know that we have to be careful and we want to protect ourselves. I'm doing this as a love offering. Some of my funds, when I work overtime, actually I'm wanting to do more signs.
That's right. McCall works extra hours to be able to post her messages on daily billboards throughout Jacksonville.
It's just a message to check yourself while you got your face mask on. Christian community. Are you in fear or are you in faith?
And so we're clear, you are not telling people to not wear masks.
Definitely not. The sign is not something we should look to as our protection. It should be God. Those of us that wear a mask, me included, just to do so for others, those that are around us, so we're not being offensive.
While some receive the message precisely how McCall wrote it.
It should encourage people to wear a mask because if God gives you the knowledge, you know, he uses people to give other people knowledge.
Others do not.
Honestly, I wouldn't even know how to interpret that.
And so, as we drive down different roads, McCall's hope is everyone's road leads to one destination.
To rise up in faith.
In Jacksonville, Zach Lajway, Channel 4, the local station.
Well,
The News for Jack's Trust Index team is looking into recent claims on social media that wearing a face mask for a long period of time can be harmful to your health. Opponents to wearing masks claim that masks deprive the body of oxygen, and others say breathing in too much of one's exhaled carbon dioxide can also be dangerous. Here's what the Trust Index team found out.
This is illegal. This is the United States of America, and nobody can force me or anybody else to do that.
In a fit of admitted frustration, Darlene Mayo takes to social media after being asked to leave a local store because she wasn't wearing a mask. Mayo isn't practicing medicine right now, but says she's board certified until 2023. She says wearing a mask does nothing to protect people from COVID-19.
And masks do not protect from viruses, okay? If you need some medical proof, I will be happy to provide that for you.
Mayo's statements and other mask opponents are the exact opposite of what the U.S. Surgeon General says to do.
The most important thing I would say to people is if you do go out to a gathering or in public, please wear a face covering.
States like California airing public service announcements urging people to wear masks. And Mayor Lenny Curry tweeting this morning, wear the damn mask. The same question was asked to UF Health CEO Leon Haley, who says there are no medical facts supporting claims that masks are dangerous to wear for healthy people.
To my knowledge, there's no information out there that a normal, healthy person wearing a mask, that there's any risk whatsoever. Now, there may be a small group of people, for example, people with sleep apnea, maybe a few people with really bad asthma or COPD, that it may not be ideal, but that's a smaller group of people. But my better analogy is if you went in for an 8-hour surgery, your surgeon and all of his or her colleagues will have a mask on. They will do just fine during the course of that 8-hour surgery.
Now, Dr. Haley, who you just heard there, addressed the city council last week and went on to say that there is no medical record of a physician who wore a mask, fainting or passing out from a lack of oxygen after a prolonged use of a mask. He stresses that wearing the mask is safer than not wearing one. So answering the question tonight, is wearing a mask for a long period of time, is it harmful to your health? The Trust Index team says that's not true.
Reuters releases an article about a statement Secretary Mike Pompeo made about they're looking to ban all Chinese social media, including TikTok, saying that it releases or provides Chinese government with information being secretly shared from U.S. residents. Google relieves another 25 more apps from its Google Play Store, and you should take them off your phone also. Google stated that these apps pose risks to cybersecurity and may contain malware, which in return sends your Facebook credentials to these fake companies. These are apps designed for Facebook, so when you click on them or open them and log into your Facebook, it actually sends you to a fake website that records all this information. The way these apps work is the app itself actually has to be open, and you actually have to sign in or connect it to your Facebook. Upon doing so, it sends back that information to the company servers on which they have access to. Spacex sends the FCC a request for application submission to allow more cities to beta test in the Starlink satellites. Currently amid the Wednesday launch to release another little under 60 satellites, we currently have 540 Starlink satellites in the sky. This is aiming to get the other cities to be able to beta test, seeing as Seattle is the only state allowed to beta test currently at the moment. The Hubbell telescope sends back a picture from a galaxy called the Fluffy Galaxy, located more than 67 million light years away. This galaxy has scientists baffled because in the center, where the star normally is, it's completely empty, leaving scientists with further questions such as, how does the solar system function? How do the planets survive? And are the planets actually inhabitable by other life forms? Astrophysicists discover that there is an abundant amount of neutrinos in the space atmosphere that are missing gamma rays. The study comes from us studying the fact that there's supermassive black holes at the very core of every galaxy's existence. Chinese scientists that control the Mars W.H.O rover was doing its fourth mission on the dark side of the moon. It discovered a gel-like substance. Nothing in this video should be considered legal, medical, or financial advice.